And 16-bit nerds joining me today is Vortex of Doom. How you doing today, man?
Doing well. I'm really excited to calm this match. These are great runners, and I think we've got a really good game on our hands.
Oh yeah, so week one we're doing co-op info share, meaning the players on the left, players on the right are on the same teams. They are going to be running through the same seed, giving each other information that will lead them to defeating all the dungeons. We're going to do all of them. And anyway, we're off.
Interesting to note, Beard Force 1 is doing the double sank start. I imagine we'll see one runner do a hula hand to begin. Eykir and Floyd are doing the other common opener where one runner goes to Uncle while the other goes straight to Kakariko. I tend to prefer the Uncle route because it's you might just run into money and you're guaranteed to get a couple checks done while one runner gets a start on Kakariko.
No, at least with the hula hand strat, you end up doing the Uncle route eventually. However, you make sure one of the runners have money, and we have 3 regular crystals, it looks like, and money as a tree pull.
I also saw that Pickle dropped a bomb for Dr. Bob, which is very nice to have going into Kakariko. It just frees up your routing a little bit.
All right, so Floyd did find our first glove in Uncle. Uncle gave him a new pair of warmers.
Yeah, but without money for bombs or bombs, looks like Floyd will be heading to Kakariko from the south, which is a common play. He'll probably be grabbing the 50-50 bushes on the way until he gets 2 or 3 bombs, ideally.
Ooh, Cape growing in the woods. The first sets of 50-50 had nothing, so Floyd is going to walk up, walk down, check again. We're going to see what's in Thieves' Hideout. Beard Force 1 and Floyd gets their bombs, only 20 rupees. Part of this is the Dark Shadows now telling Dr. Bob, do not drop into Thieves' Hideout. You don't need that 20 right now. Same with Eykir. This is part of the reason why we're doing info share. We're doing all dungeons, so normally you will 100% the seed if you were playing this by yourself. But this way, we cut about 30 minutes between the runners, giving each other information. Ooh, that was a bottle on library.
Yeah, and only a piece of heart on that race game. So those bombs that Floyd worked so hard for, he can make them last a little longer.
All right, Bob's doing Blind's hideout right now.
Dark Shadows finding 300 rupees in the tavern. So with that hula hand start, he's at Zora money already, which is... that is a perk to the hula hand start.
Oh my. Eykir finding the book in the well and lamp at the back of blinds. Alright, so everyone doing Kakariko will pay out for just about everyone right now. With book and lamp. And that first glove. That might be we just need a weapon to do desert now.
Floyd passing on the information about that 300 to Eykir so he can buy some bombs and continue through Kakariko.
All right. Dark Shadows is going to find out what's in the back of the well. I don't think we got this information. Just 20 rupees. So we have a very rupee-rich seed right now.
Yeah, which is always, nice to see because once a co-op seed starts getting going, you really run out of you're not going to be picking up any money. So if you need to buy safeties or anything like that later on. Oh, there's also a sword in Blindside. What's that?
No, that's our weapon. So now, depending on where a key is in Desert, we may have that fully clearable right now. We'll probably see one runner go to the eastern area and other runner go to desert, or one runner will do, mini Moldorm, the other runner do desert.
Yeah, I think we'll probably be seeing one runner probably rush up Aga Tower as soon as they find that moon pearl. With cape, lamp, and a sword, that's all you need for Aga. It lets you get a head start on the Dark World. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see an early Aga play, even if we end up finding normal Dark World access.
I don't think we'll see that personally, because I know a lot of runners, the big meta play is to save Aga Tower for your final dungeon, because you just teleport straight to the gaming hole. But we'll see. We'll see how these runners decide to play it.
The big factor, I think, would be that they haven't touched Front of Escape yet. And if you go into Front of Escape with everything you need to clear Aga, you lose 10 seconds versus, when you land right on the pyramid.
Yeah.
Saves you a mirror. You do lose the health refill, but again, that early Dark World access, we'll have to see what the runners choose to do. They could not have a choice.
Yeah, that's true too. We don't fully know yet. We got a piece of heart on Ped. Hyrule Dungeon is basically the only optional dungeon in this game, though, because there really isn't a boss down there. So, I mean, if you could keep on doing tricks that's not Hyrule Dungeon, that's, more power to you. But we're going to check back at the Escape now on Dark Shadows side.
DoctorBobtastic just went to Agina's Cave after the dam, which is a common co-op play. To certainly not ubiquitous, but lots of people like getting that Agina check out of the way if they get value. Though he is continuing to desert. I slipped my mind that they have the book and potentially both there.
And we'll see Desert Ledge is nothing. Possibility of 2 items in the dungeon. Master Sword and Mini Moldorm Cave. That's something that runners like to see. But that's about all the usefulness that is right there. But yeah, Eykir is doing the Eastern play. Won't be able to do much unless we find the bow here.
Yeah, and in a seed that you suspect is Aga required, especially when you have the lamp, I think the bowless Eastern dip is a lot less painful than it could be otherwise.
That's a Fire Rod in Dark Cross. That's great information for Dark Shadow to give Dr. Bob. And Desert is boots locked.
That's good info to know. Given that they have everything else they need to beat Desert, it probably means those boots are showing up sooner rather than later.
So we just found ourselves a shroom. That could be something.
Certainly could. Ice Rod. Wow.
Hey.
Going straight from Aga to Turtle Rock. Looks like.
I mean, that Ice Rod could literally be anywhere except a couple locations. And in fact, in all dungeons, you might need to find Ice Rod and Ganon's Tower just to beat the seed, depending on if TR is a pendant. But it's nice to get that out of the way soon. One check left. There's one item left in Eastern. So if it's the bow, that is, a completed dungeon.
Yeah, and I was saying in a possibly under-required seed, you're gonna want to exhaust all of your options, and this chest is in logic. Unfortunately, it's just 20 rupees, as it usually is.
No, that's really good there, because that's all the items out of Eastern. These runners can now wait to do Pod Eastern combined once they find the mirror and the bow, of course.
Yeah, since Eastern is a regular crystal, there's no added incentive to go finish off Armos, which frees them up later for other routing opportunities.
All right, so Eykir is going to go ahead and turn in the mushroom. We'll see what that will give us. Zora's secondly logic as well. So Dark Shadow's doing a fake flipper. Eykir could keep on going to Zora from here after turning in the mushroom.
So we'll get a fake flipper check of the island, which is not much.
The mushroom was also nothing.
And taking care of Hobo. I like this because by doing the fake flipper to Zora here without the Moon Pearl, you're committing to orphaning the waterfall fairy, which you can't access with the fake flipper unless you have the Moon Pearl to activate a water walk after. So getting a little more value out of the fake flipper makes a lot of sense from Dark Shadows. Hobo is a oft orphaned flipper check, but
yep, man underneath the bridge only gives up $50 though.
Like the colony.
Bob is going to go ahead and check Zelda's cell. I don't know what else we've found down there. The other boomerang is on Zora Ledge. I can assume both members of Beard Force 1 has the glove at this point in time. If anyone does, it was definitely Bob.
Yeah, I can't imagine that either of them got the... The glove was in back of the well, right?
No, glove was at Uncle.
Uncle, okay, Uncle. So Dark Shadows... yeah, Dark Shadows went to Uncle. So... And Dr. Bob is cleaning Escape now, so I believe you're correct.
Nothing in Escape, okay.
So yeah, it looks like either Spectacle Rock Cave or Aga is the play.
Yep, Zora was just a scam today. Looks like Bob is going to go ahead and do Aga to see if the Moon Pearl is on Pyramid.
And even if it's not, Aga is a dungeon you have to do. Wait.
Nope.
Is he...
Yeah, no, you don't do Aga. Even if it's open, you don't do Aga until it's the last possible check.
I disagree with it. I think Dr. Bob is going to go get his Master Sword and then do Aga. I think that was the call there. There's no real reason to put off Aga here because you're doubling up. Even if you need whatever's on Old Man or in Spectacle Rock Cave, it's super easy to just do it after Aga, and it's a free pyramid check. So I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. I thought he dead rocked himself.
Just decided he'd rather have the Master Sword going into the Dark World if Moon Pearl's there, or just Aga Tower in general is so much nicer.
Another sword on Spectral Rock. That'll be our Tempered Sword.
So we are looking at a Moon Pearl on Pyramid Ledge, I believe.
Or Mirror, or Bow.
Yeah,
no,
that's true.
Not Bow.
That's true.
Boots.
Yeah, it could be Flipper. It could be any number of things. I'm getting a little angsty. Regardless, Moon Pearl is behind whatever is on Pyramid Ledge.
What's Dark Shadows doing now? Oh, wait. Eykir was a... Wait. Who was just up there? I just completely blanked on who was up there. Yeah, Eykir turned into Mushroom. Mushroom was a Red Boomerang.
Wondering what that foray through the Uncle drop down was for Dr. Bob.
Magic.
Was it just magic?
Yeah, I mean, He only had 2 shots of the fire rod. Probably wanted more for the dark rooms.
He's got the lamp though, so it's
Yeah.
not. I'm just puzzled. But yeah, we see Floyd and Dr. Bob heading to.
Plus, fire rod killed these guys in 1 hit. So.
Oh, neither Dark Shadows or Dr. Bob has been to Eastern yet. So yeah.
Shadows will find Mushroom and Ice Rod.
I think so. For them, this is in essence an early egg play, and they don't quite know, but it will pay out.
Yeah, as we're retracing, don't forget to give these runners a follow. They're putting on a great show. Don't forget to give all the links to the Past League channels a follow as well.
Eykir is following Floyd into Aga Tower. So it's a little bit of a lead overall. Obviously, extremely early in the game for 16-bit nerds. But well, Dr. Bob has a little bit of a lead on Floyd right now. Eykir is much closer to Floyd than Dark Shadows is to Dr. Bob, and we know that Dr. Bob is the one chasing progression now.
Yep. So it looks like we're going to be bottlenecked here, which is kind of rough on the runners. I mean, it's kind of hard to co-op whenever you're now.
Yeah, you like to divide and pump, and when bottlenecks mean that you just have to conquer. There's no dividing, and you know it suddenly becomes a lot more about execution over those stretches of game, and you always want to try to find a way to get back to splitting up. But sometimes you gotta make the call that well, this way is clearly where the progression is. I think what we find on Pyramid Ledge, like once they find the Moon Pearl, I think that's when we might see this open up a little bit more. It's really unlikely that we find the Moon Pearl directly, because with the Moon Pearl directly, we have a couple items in Pod and Catfish as logical checks. So
it's possible we might just find the mirror, and then now we have Hera access and.
Yeah.
But we'll find out what happens here soon.
Unfortunately, with no boots and no hookshot, runners can't do one of the best parts, in my opinion, of an all dungeons seed, the Aga Tower hook speed. Quite a loss for this seed. And Floyd finds the boots.
So now we have the bottle that's in library that could lead to Sick Kid, and we have Bonk Rocks as well. Plus Desert.
This is quite a seed already. I'm hoping it's Sick Kid personally.
Well, we get the first checks from both Floyd and Dr. Bob now. And it's only $20. Okay. So that means once we turning the bottle might give us our progression. Bob's frozen. No!
Dark Shadows is trying a splash delete, but without the Moon Pearl, there's no value to be gained from a splash delete, unless you know something I don't.
I don't know. I'm not well versed in the splash delete stuff. But Floyd is now going to give us the bile turn. Eykir is going to desert.
Yeah, and this is the benefit of having split up like this, or of both having done Aga, is suddenly you have a bit of divergence. And it looks like it's desert, so rip sick kid, but at least the check was convenient.
It looks like we lost Dr. Bob, don't worry. Well, hopefully he'll get back on. Hopefully he's local recording.
Eykir is making it to desert with just a sliver of health. Once he's inside, he is safe from having to make the whole run there.
Yeah, so now DarkShadows is actually far behind. Hopefully something happens and there might be some information that'll let DS catch up a bit here. But right now, Eykir and Floyd, they're both going to scour around the desert trying to find, their next progression. They're now working as one mind.
Yeah, Eykir taking a pretty savvy death warp. Loses almost no time versus running to the right side, and has much more health to work with. And there's our Moon Pearl. So now we have Catfish and the front of Pod open. So that's exciting.
And I think these runners are going to go ahead and finish this dungeon to just make sure there's not like another item they can use, like flippers, so they can go back to divide and conquer.
Yep. To answer the question in chat, Floyd's sprite is Will from Illusion. It's the only one I've ever seen him use. But yeah, with the fire rod, though they won't get much use out of it with their current magic. Interestingly, though the Aga was required, without the Moon Pearl, the refill after Aga you don't get it. So whereas normally runners would have.
Well, okay.
I think with just Master, did Eykir find both items in Desert?
I don't know what the second item was.
So with no magic, Master
20. Sword. Yeah, no, I
think Desert will be just fine later with Mirror.
Yeah, no, same story with Eastern. Dungeon's done. I mean, it'll be faster to clear it later, with a better sword and stuff like that when you do Mire.
So Floyd checking Catfish while Eykir gives us a map check. We've got Mire and Swamp as pendants with Skull as green pendant. Thieves Sound and Ice are our red crystals, our 5/6 crystals that unlock access to
Ooh, so that mirror might actually be in GT with this.
It would offer a certain kind of convenience in Legacy, in that you don't have to remember to mirror to save and quit from one of the usual light world, or save and quit to one of the usual light world spots. Once you've defeated Ega. Catfish is not the answer, so Floyd is going to be following Eykir straight into pod.
So this will have to be either a small key or the bow.
Unsurprisingly, it's a small key.
The C could have been a little bit more surprising. Dark Shadows now gain their boots.
Thieves Town is the other 5/6 crystal. So, rather than Turtle Rock. But otherwise, the crystals were correct. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully we get Dr. Bob back in here. I mean, since Dark Shadows went straight from the boots to the to desert rather than the other checks, it's pretty clear that Dr. Bob is still making progress, because I think we lost him before he found out conclusively that progression was in desert.
We can assume Dr. Bob's in pod right now, just because Dr. Bob would keep him Floyd.
Still no progression in pod in the front 4 chests.
In fact, this could actually be even more confirmed if once Dark Shadows grabs the Moon Pearl, if he just nopes out.
Oh, I imagine he'll grab the big key. And nope out.
Actually, Eykir, I would be getting some more money here. You still need a little bit more.
I mean, Eykir's already checked Sora. Chest game and dig game. He has enough money for those. Oh, yeah. Eykir realizing that despite the fact that often if you have 2 keys... Yeah, often if you have 2 keys in Harmless Hellway, if you check everything in front and open every door and put 2 keys, Harmless Hellway will be a small key. But since he has not been Bowlock side,
Oh, he's going for the hammer yump, while Floyd is just going to go ahead and go right through.
This is some big brain divide and conquer here. Yeah.
Hammer!
Hammer and key. So that's, unfortunately, this is still a double dip of pod unless Bo is in big chest. No, Bo, it's Bo locked. I think a very heads up play for Floyd would have probably been to grab that, fill that bottle with something before he came to pod, and do the potion camera unlock. But no matter, they have Dark World access. Eastern and pod are all but finished at this point, so...
Yeah, Floyd's doing Hype Cave, probably to dig game. Eykir is going to go ahead and do... Floyd, you don't blow up those pegs. You hammer them. Eykir's going to do... actually, Eykir can do Skull Woods right now.
Yep. Just different demolition tools, different tools for different purposes. But yeah, Eykir, I assume, is just going to start clearing dungeons, going from Skull Woods into
Titans and Hype Cave.
Thieves Town. So yeah, that works out really well for Floyd too, because now he can just walk up straight into the village. And
by the way, Bombos was in pod, so both Eykir and Floyd has Bombos. Once we find Flippers, that knits means Ice Palace is a play, which also would open up the Pyramid Fairy to us.
Yeah, all of the runners, I'm sure, would love to wait for Cane of Samaria over waiting for Flippers to do Ice. But I think there's just going to be a lot of overworld and early dungeons for a little bit here.
I love how who's ever tracking Beard Force 1. So if DarkShadows finds it, more likely Bob has it.
That's a safe bet at this point.
All right, dig game. It's going to be the same item for all the runners, but 5 days gives you a heart container. Eykir only on 5 might be.
DarkShadows is going to mimic clip. Did not even pick up that bottle from Sick Kid. This is something that's very handy to have in your toolkit. DarkShadows knows that he's going to Dark Maze, and knows the big key is on this side from Dr. Bob. So. And everything in front was a key, I believe. So...
I'm actually surprised Floyd didn't grab the Smith to start doing the Smith chain while Eykir clears out Thieves Town.
Well, I'm a little surprised that Eykir went to Thieves Town instead of Skull Woods. Maybe he's going for the magic.
4 hearts, 5 hearts. I mean, Moth is not fun.
But I feel maybe Floyd will be going to Skull Woods since he has 7 hearts instead of 5 for Eykir. Maybe they made the call that way.
No, Floyd's about ready to get heart 8 here. Oh yeah. Westside Vandal pulling out some Simpsons references in chat. I see how you are.
Yeah, and this looks like Floyd is going to check Bumper, which they can grab if they needed, but just a piece of heart. If I was at 3 heart pieces, probably still wouldn't grab that, actually. That's a slow check. 8 heart screen mail is not a fun moth, but it's not a grab a heart piece for an extra heart.
No, it's blue mail. Blue mail. I mean, you're still taking all the damage.
Gosh, that darn Will sprite just confuses the heck out of me.
All right, Blue Cane was what was orphaned, but DarkShadows regained the hammer here, and will probably nope out if Bob has cleared out the rest of this.
Interestingly, that well, no, with a bottle in cave, Spike Cave is in logic as soon as we got that hammer, but I always find that when both of them are available relatively early, and that's obviously with a big asterisk since we have no idea how early Berna is available, but it's usually a sign of something.
Eykir did not finish Thieves Town. Okay. I do know Floyd has found 10 arrows in the left chest here. Floyd, you had it. You had it, Floyd. It was right there to you.
And Floyd deciding that it's not worth trying the bomb jump. Failing it with 1 heart there. I might have gone for it that last time just for the health refill if I failed, but
Eykir with Mitts not doing King's Tomb is kind of okay.
Yeah, I wonder if this is Eykir grabbing, like, just doing mirrorless Smith chain. Committing a little harder to Floyd doing Skullwoods with that little bit of extra health, or maybe he's... Huh. This is going right back into Thieves Town.
I'm very confused by that play, but it happens.
Oh, Eykir, I think, got the cape glitch. Ran out of magic with the cape in Hellway as he went through the door, and unless you can equip cape, you can't make it go away. The only answer is to mirror or to save and quit. So that explains everything about his play, except maybe skipping King's Tomb. But you know, when you have a time loss like that, you don't. You're trying to get back to what you were doing as quick as possible. So back to our regularly scheduled Thieves Town. We see not much.
More roofs.
Heading into the back of Skullwoods for a moth fight. I'm sure he'd rather not be doing.
I mean, at least with this amount of hearts and blue mail, it's not the worst thing in the world if you know how to fight moth.
Ooh, and there's the red cane. So I would be...
Oh, don't save and quit. Don't save and quit. Just kill it.
Did Floyd? That might have been both items.
Yeah,
but,
no.
yeah.
10 arrows and cane. Skullwoods is way out of place. You want to do Skullwoods when you...
Yeah.
If you go into the back of Skullwoods, you're finishing Skullwoods.
Yeah, I would agree. The fight can get better than this, but you know, not that much better. This is, you know, like, he's got Master Sword. It's not like he's doing a Fighter Sword moth here. He's got blue mail.
Nice
hearts,
nice
and a magic
refill.
Dark Shadows is picking up the Smith. So I think we can probably conclude that Thieves Town is empty.
I think there's one item left. One item on blind left, but yeah, mostly empty.
If it's not big progression early, I don't think Dark Shadows would have picked up the Smith instead of following in. Well, maybe. I suppose without the movie, it's still a check you haven't done yet. Yeah, I'd be surprised if blind was big progression, but I've been surprised before.
Almost got the script down, but still a good fight there.
Ooh, powder.
And Floyd, we got double force blood on the right side. 16-bit nerds with the first two dungeon clears.
You almost said crystals there. I heard it. But yeah, that's some two good dungeons down and another check waiting, because despite having both items in Skullwoods, we forgot that Skullwoods was the green pendant. Eykir with that powder is going to pick up the Smith and get a couple checks done. It's pretty nice. So after Skullwoods, Floyd, I imagine, is probably going to fake flipper dice.
That's possible.
Maybe check King's Tomb, I imagine.
Yeah, no, our next progression, like, logically, is either in King's Tomb or Purple Chest right now.
Or Smith or Potter. I mean, there's...
Well, yeah, I mean, when I said Purple Chest, I meant, like, the Smith chain in general. This has been a very bottlenecky seed.
Once again, Floyd doing the one-off. That is not progression. Losing the 50-50 again.
right. So Smith gives out the bombs. And Floyd
is turning into Green Pendant.
Oh yeah, green. Oh yeah, we forgot green. Pendant turn is possible progression as well. Powder is also going on. We're going to see what the Magic Vat curses us with today. The curse is bombs. Oh no, not the explodey curse.
So mirrorless purple chest is
Yeah,
the way to
it.
go.
Yeah, nope. Green Pendant's just some love.
Or Spike Cave, as chat points out. If I'm Floyd, I'm going for yet another one-off before doing all of the Smith chain. But that should give Eykir enough time to be sure, and if it's not the answer, they're going to feel really dumb both doing the Smith chain only to have to go to Purple Chest, or to Spike Cave. But yeah, and one thing that could be a factor here is Spike Cave, in my experience, is a pretty often forgotten check. Like, both of us forgot it existed and was in Logic, despite the fact that I said it was in Logic like 5 minutes ago, at least. But especially with Cave, and there's the flippers. So
now Ice Palace.
Now we get to last location, something else in Spike Cave.
So we now have Waterfall. We now have Ice Palace completely open to us. Kind of open to us. I mean, there's still a chance that it could. And imagine me putting up giant air quotes. Be hookshot locked.
Yeah, that's great info though from their perspective, because if Ice Palace is hookshot locked, that means that hookshot can't be a Preemptive Fairy.
True.
So, there's another bottle and 20 rupees. So, might want to fill up that bottle, but that Whirlpool is calling. He's got powder, so I think Eykir is gonna take the speedy route rather than the. Oh, they haven't. Have they done any of the flipper checks?
No, they've done Zora.
Yeah, because Dark Shadows was the one who had cleaned the Zora checks up.
Oh,
So,
Floyd knowing where the flippers are is like, you know what? Whatever. I don't need to go get the purple chest right now.
yeah, he'll get it later when he can maybe combo it with Bombo's tablet, and Swamp. He's right next to Swamp, and that's the only thing he'll need it for. So yeah, I like this a lot from Floyd. He knows he needs to do it. He turned into Smith and isn't going to take the time to walk back to the portal.
And I think Eykir is going to take this time to get their cane and get that moth kill.
Yeah, with Thieves Town done, Eykir doesn't have, with everything in the village done, Eykir has literally no reason to come back. So while it might sometimes not be the best play to just rush Skullwoods to get the cane for Icebreaker, in this case, I think it makes perfect sense. The only possible value you could gain would be a Tempered Sword or Flute for this moth fight. So I think, well, the flute wouldn't help with the moth fight, but it would bring it about faster.
Boys are going to go hit the switch.
Well, and as Wimpy says in chat, when the cane saves you 2+ minutes, and it might not, to be fair. If Floyd checks these right side checks and none of them are anything, Eykir could just Ice Palace bomb jump and only lose 10-15 seconds, but I think that's unlikely.
Well, it's faster decaying if you know how to do Icebreaker within a couple seconds, which Floyd took some time getting this up, but does it. Nice.
Did we get a ped check with that book at any
Yeah,
point?
it's just a piece of art.
Okay, we might have. Did 16-bit nerds do the ped check?
No.
Okay, so that would be the only thing that it would give me pause, but very little pause. It's not a big factor. But yeah, they are orphaning the check, and if there is an awkward search for some item late, that location could be on their minds for a little bit, since both of them will have Skullwoods done and have no reason to combo a ped check.
Yeah,
there.
My team, when we started doing the practice for this week, our very first seed was a head seed.
And ped seeds are much less unfortunate in an all dungeons seed than they are a standard or 7/7 open, whatever. But the location itself is still pretty inconvenient, and it can take a while till you decide to check it.
But Floyd's almost done with Ice Palace. We'll be able to just tell Eykir, hey, just do this, this, and this, and you'll be fine. Ooh, convenient big key.
Gotta be careful.
Oh, Eykir. Going to use B strats. Is the B going to do it?
There we go.
Nice.
B from the waterfall cave.
What did Floyd find?
Chekhov's B. Mirror, because Floyd saved and quit and is now on the pyramid. So that is Swamp, front of Swamp available, but I'm a little surprised that Floyd is not going.
Oh, he's going to do the mirror checks first, I think, before going to. No?
Floyd might be checking Lumberjack. Oh, Floyd was not the one who went and checked the mountain, so he still has to wake up, is all. There we go. That makes more sense.
I'm still kind of surprised Floyd didn't finish Ice Palace. Now, Eykir will have Pyramid Fairy once Eykir finishes this dungeon. Still confusing.
Yeah, with Bombos especially, I think that's a confusing choice because if you're out of magic and you don't, like Floyd doesn't have the powder or any way to guaranteed get more health to do Fire Rod shot dupes or something, but he has Bombos, so it's, I don't know. It might just be that he's got some progression. Eykir might be a little more confident finishing a note. So they'll cover their bases that way. And Floyd just wanted to get chasing that mirror as quickly as possible. I still believe it's a pretty confusing choice, but there may be some rationale there.
Floyd's going to get the Tempered Sword here, though. And we're going to get some Hera knowledge as well. Oh, and Ether knowledge. Wait! Check Ether tablet, you have book! No!
Yeah, if Hookshot were to be on Ether tablet, Floyd would feel very silly. I imagine he will do it after Hera, but yeah, I'd do that check before.
The good old big key in basement. So right now, we just have to watch the top 2 screens. Ignore the bottom 2 screens for the next 2 minutes.
Once again, while we see Floyd doing nothing and the other two retreading previously tread ground, be sure to give all these runners a follow. Even Dr. Bob, who we can't see right now, they're doing a great job. You know, Dr. Bob clearly led Dark Shadows to that purple chest. So, but yeah, they're it's a great run, doing a great job. And even though Dr. Bob is not here right now, he is a very entertaining streamer and entertainer. A very entertaining entertainer.
I was trying to cover that up, so no one heard that. But yeah, Floyd's going to go ahead and clear out Hera, and we'll see if Eykir decides to finish Ice Palace, which I would hope.
He had better decide to finish Ice Palace if Floyd didn't.
I mean, it's one of those things where it's like dungeons like Eastern Desert. I understand. Once you find all the items, you just clear out of there because it's like, yeah, you can combo them, right?
Right.
Ice Palace and Skull Woods, you can't combo. So it's one of those things where if you're already that far into the dungeon, do it.
Yeah, the Master Sword fight will cost you a little bit of time, but it won't cost you an entire walk through Ice Palace. Like, it won't cost you that much time. So, unless Floyd was pretty certain he was going to die, he lost a not insignificant amount of time. But, you know, like, he is doing new checks, and Eykir has to go get that mirror sooner rather than later, so, you know, maybe rushing the new checks is...
I mean, it still turns into like a 4-minute time loss to get back through the dungeon to kill Coltsair. I mean,
it turns into a 2-minute time loss as long as Eykir also finishes, because you know in co-op all the time loss is halved. So you know this is a very linear seed. Floyd is going to where the next progression is, unless it's in Swamp Palace, and the seed is... Ooh, and that is the risk of Floyd leaving. And I imagine he'll be going directly back. Eykir also leaving.
Okay, that's the double oof right there, because now you're orphaning Pyramid Fairy. That could turn...
Yeah.
That's... Oof.
Yeah, this could be big. I imagine Floyd would go right after the mountain with that Tempered Sword, and now 10 hearts, if I can count correctly. Floyd is probably not as scared of Gold Stare anymore as he potentially was.
All right, so we'll see how that will play out as Dark Shadows is clearing out Ice Palace.
Eykir is going to do the North Loop here, which makes sense because you can loop Cave 45 in with Swamp and Bombos a little later, hopefully once you have the hook shot. And this is... they've already kind of orphaned it, so maybe just getting it out of the way here, giving Floyd a little more time to get the lay of the land. on Death
Half
Mountain.
magic and paradox that might move the runners back into Ice Palace.
Yeah, if Floyd doesn't go into Ice Palace immediately after, and well, that actually changes things. Floyd will probably quit, go get his purple chest, and then get the flippers and go into Swamp. Which, you know, like, seems like the logical progression. I am not sure I would be betting on Pyramid Fairy that hard either.
But it's still the fact that both runners are going to have to do Swamp. Ah, man.
Right, but Floyd can do it now. This has been a very linear seed, and you know, I think, you know, there are. How many items did we get in Ice? Did we get all of the items?
I'm not sure.
I'm
just more lamenting that, you know, both runners dipped out. Like, I understand Eykir had no magic.
Okay, so we did get all items in Ice. That might have been just a momentary forgetfulness that it was a 5/6 crystal, and Dark Shadow also taking a death. So,
oh, we found all 4 swords.
Yeah, there's the 4th sword.
And TR is completable.
All right.
Well, we got green goo now. So TR's open up. There's our bow. All right. We now have all kinds of dungeons to clear out.
I'm a little perplexed that Eykir is doing these checks, actually. He might have been on his way to Cave 45. Well, that just adds insult to injury. You need that mirror to get that blue potion for full state. But yeah, like Floyd is.
We went from having like 1 bottle and 3 swords to all the swords and all the bottles in like 2 minutes. And looks like Dark Shadows is going to give us Spike Cave. Maybe? Nope, never mind, I lied.
No, Dark Shadows is checking the mountain.
It's starting to look like
he might be the first one up here, actually, because
yeah, no. I'm actually going. It's not confirmed, but I don't know if Dr. Bob is even talking to DS right now. If he completely lost the internet,
that could be. And Floyd making a call that I do kind of like. Like, he's got the mirror, the bow. The bow is the deepest item in the progression so far that we have, because, you know, mirror locked hookshot and hookshot locked bow. He's got to finish these dungeons. He's got just about everything in him. So,
I mean, the ice rod was in Eastern, so why not just clear out both of these and get your ice rod and then do TR?
Yep.
Oh, Eykir with no magic.
That's fine. He's got to get stuff from this side of the mountain anyway. He's just opening Turtle Rock while he's up there, opening the portal. There's a full magic and Super Bunny that held it down. But
so it's kind of surprising Floyd isn't going for the big chest. 16-bit nerds don't know what's in the big chest.
So, wait, why do Pod Eastern over... Just in chat, our tracker Wimpy asking Pod Eastern over Swamp when it might be one item. Well, like, there's at least one item in Pod left, I think.
No, but still doing Pod Eastern, getting them out of the way while you get your Ice Rod, just in case TR is something.
It's not never going to change much in Pod East. Like, the way you do Pod Eastern isn't going to change at this point.
But the fact of the matter is, Floyd needs the Ice Rod to do TR. So
yeah, and he does have to get the Ice Rod. So I think you go, you do it, you grab the Ice Rod, and then, progression could very well be in Turtle Rock right now. And Eykir with the Ice Rod is going to find that out.
Now again, with how Meyer's pendant, Flute could be in GT. The Meyer medallion can also be in GT.
Yep. So I think I imagine we'll see one do Swamp Palace. I would not do left side here. Because I would be playing for GT at this point. They can get into GT. It's free. So, but for me, I don't know if I could have both runners leave all of Swamp Palace untouched when you have to go through it anyway.
Floyd's going for that big chest.
Yeah, I'm not sure I like this. Even though, from our perspective, we know
it's Blue Cane, but that's still an item for them, and it's one of those things where, as if Floyd can tell Eykir, do not get the big chest, just kill Helmstar, that saves them 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. But still, it's one item. You had that bottle when you came here. Opponent could have had that ages ago. I don't know. It's a tough call, but Dark Shadows taking down Moldorm for the 3rd dungeon done. And this is a low dungeon count, I feel like, for an hour into a co-op. This has been an extremely linear seed, no options of where to go. Even with the boss death, that's not very many dungeons.
What's Floyd doing now? Oh,
I see.
Never got bombos.
That explains everything about why he left Ice Palace, actually. Because he did not have full magic and could not melt Cold Stare. So that is that mystery completely solved now.
I'm surprised Floyd didn't pick up when they were in pod earlier.
He probably forgot, to be honest. It was probably a miscommunication. Just, things can happen in co-op.
Yeah, Floyd's probably just going to take that big key straight to the big chest to get the Ice Rod and go straight to Armos.
Yep. He's certainly not going to go get the big 20 in vanilla big key chest. Eykir is checking lava chest. Oh, he has to. It's the big key. We weren't paying attention. I wasn't paying attention.
I mean, you still check if you're the first one in TR regardless. It could be your flute. It could be your
another that's what I was going to say, but the point was me meaning it was the big key.
Alright, yeah, Floyd's just going to go ahead and clear out Eastern. So we're now assuming that the flute might be in GT. That means someone's going to have to go run to Desert Palace eventually.
And yeah, that is the risk of leaving the boss for later with no flute.
Big 20 and Mimic. And Floyd's the first one to arm us. Now, Eykir is going to have a very difficult Trinex fight coming up here. 7 hearts on Trinex is not a fun time.
I will say that with Butter Sword, you know, you shouldn't be giving Trinex too many opportunities to hit you. It can be a pretty quick fight. I don't think Eykir is too worried at this point. And there's an 8th heart, so it's obviously a formality at this point. Just joking. Yeah, no, this is no walk in the park. But I think Eykir will be just fine. So I think my guess is we'll see Floyd clear up Thieves Town. Go grab that purple chest. And probably just take care of Swamp. Like I said, I would probably not do left side when GT and all of its 20-some checks were an option. But I think if you have to go get them anyway, Floyd not doing Thieves Town. This is really dangerous without the flute, in my opinion, because
that's a shovel.
Because you're walking to
Eykir's not being safe to save.
But yeah, I think doing Thieves Town there was the play for Floyd. So maybe they're not just assuming the flute's in GT. Maybe they think they're doing okay. We're planning on being thorough, which we have no good way of knowing whether that's the case, whether they're ahead or behind with only one side of the other team. But yeah, I think I would have done Thieves Town there, even though it's not in the checks.
I mean, Floyd could have gone ahead and finished Ice Palace and checked Pyramid Fairy as well after, like, just go down the road, you know?
Well, I think if I was Floyd and did Swamp, I would probably finish Desert. With the flute possibly being in GT, just because you'll never, ever be closer. But...
Well, we got Shovel, though. Shovel was the way you got the flute in the vanilla game.
Yeah, it could come in clutch again. And while we were discussing that, Eykir masterfully took down Trinex. We are, I think, going to see a Spike Cave. No, he's just checking.
He's
checking Hookshot Cave, getting his blow.
I feel like to keep on with this divide and conquer, though, Eykir should probably go ahead and finish Ice Palace ASAP.
Yeah, I think rushing GT is the way to go. I don't expect that with the way they've routed that we'll see a Pyramid Fairy check from this team. Like, Floyd doesn't have Ice Palace done, so he can't do it after Swamp. Yeah, so I think they're probably gonna be banking on GT having the answer with the way they're routed. That would be my suspicion.
Eykir is going to go ahead and Hera pot. We know there's nothing else in Hera other than $5 on Moldorm. Let's go ahead and die to 2 sword slashes.
Very clean hook speed Hera pot from Eykir. Yeah, never mind slashes. Moldorm will die as long as it's not 2 pokes. 2 anything from the butter sword. 1 slash and 1 poke. Yeah, it's a pretty quick boss. And now that comes the pivotal moment. Looks like Floyd is going to do left side swamp. I said I wouldn't do it, but I think it is a pretty defensible play. It's
You're 1 or 2 items away from go mode. I feel like you still have a lot of stuff to check.
I think you're 1 item from go mode. I would be doing the back first at least. It's admittedly slower,
but at least this way, I mean, like you will lose a lot more time. Let's say it's not in GT. You're assuming it's in GT.
Yes.
But if both people skip left side swamp, they check all GT. They get to that moment where where in the world is my flute.
So one thing to keep in mind though is that in a co-op you often end up full checking the basement of GT even if all you're looking for is the big key. Just because often both runners are there at the same time. It's so you're doing all the checks often anyway. So that would be an argument more for not touching swamp at all, and you find it on your first trip. But doing left side, I think either one runner does it early or both runners do it late is sort of the way it goes with left side swamp. And so I do see like this is 2 minutes. They've been making okay time. Oh gosh, there's the compass. Floyd just hoping he doesn't see the map here. Okay, well, at least it's an item.
And now that's information Eykir knows. Just don't do it this seed.
However, Floyd hasn't found the big key, so he'll be faced with the choice of whether to come back in for the big chest, and that's another reason. You can go to the back first because that's 4 quick checks versus 2 really slow ones, and if you get the big key back, then you don't have to walk to left side and then come back to open the big chest when you find the big key there.
Now we're doing what I now like to call the swimming pool, since we discovered Diver Down. Let's get on a swimming pool.
Well, I don't think there's a reason to do Pyramid Fairy before GT necessarily, because Pyramid Fairy has no effect on your number of mountain climbs at this point. The mountain is full clearable. Both of them will be taking exactly 1 more trip up the mountain at this point. Eykir and Floyd, at least. And Dark Shadows, for that matter. He's done everything in the mountain. And you can do GT, Myers a pendant. You can get your flute out of Pyramid Fairy, go activate it after GT. It really won't make a huge difference. Yeah, I will. Not having to full clear the GT basement is definitely it's really nice, but if it's in GT basement, you wasted a minute going to Pyramid Fairy and you don't have to full clear the basement anyway. So Rando's all about those gambles, right?
I mean, it's how you play it in co-op. You could be even more thorough. Like, Floyd's doing all these checks now. Like, Floyd told Eykir, do not go to the big chest. Well, now that saves Eykir a couple minutes. Eykir told Floyd which chest to skip in TR. You know what I'm saying? Like...
Floyd may be going back in this way
To get
because
the big
he was
chest.
having to get the big chest. He did get the big key in the flooded room. When I get it there, having already done that, so I just turn around because it's probably 5 to 10 seconds faster than running back in. But Diver Down was not being the friendliest to Floyd, so this is not, this is marginally slower at worst.
I mean, right now, Eykir's is cleaning up dungeons, so... No, actually, there was nothing in Swamp.
Yeah, I would bet an awful lot that the flute is in GT at this point. You've only seen one medallion, and it's the one for the only crystal you can see. I think that we would have seen more evidence of entry to Mire if the flute were elsewhere. And we might, I guess we've been saying we're one item from go, but we could be more than one item from go.
I mean,
so that does put some of the extra doing left side into a little sharper perspective.
Plus, having one person at least do left side. Yeah, it's slow for that one person, but like if both people skip left side and it turns out one of these two progressions there, you might as well just be both typing FF in chat.
Well, yeah, but it is just 2 items, and that that's the same in a solo seed if one person skips it, right? Like you might as well be typing FF if you skip left side with the item there. I think I've gone to GT in co-ops before, not knowing if the thing we both skipped in left side swamp was progression. And like when you make those plays, you're saying, okay, losing the game this way. This is a lot of speculative fiction at this point because our runners are actually playing this game. Eykir just finished off Armos, and Floyd's going back in for the rematch with Cold Stare now that he has...
Floyd never fought Cold Stare.
Well, yeah, the rematch with Ice Palace. I guess Ice Palace as a whole got the better of him.
I mean, right now, Eykir can go ahead and do... Now knowing that Swamp is nothing, could now... actually, where's Eykir going?
He's checking that shovel.
Yeah, that's right.
To Turtle Rock. Into all these other checks. He's finding what value can be had out of it. And so, yeah, Eykir and Floyd are not really playing like they're thinking the flute's in GT. They are cleaning up everything. Interesting. I think I might have just continued to Desert from for Eykir. Like, I think it'll never be faster if you don't find the flute. Both going to Cold Stare and banking on Pyramid Fairy. Looks like it.
This could also be something where, Floyd can go ahead and do Desert then TR while Eykir finishes up, checks Pyramid Fairy, just triple check that nothing's there while Floyd's cleaning up the last 2 dungeons to go into GT. I mean, that's another way to divide and conquer. Floyd can now just go over to Desert Palace, clean that up, then run to TR, clean that up, and then go over to GT while Eykir is checking Pyramid.
Well, honestly, I think Eykir could end up checking Pyramid before Floyd ever makes it. Like, Eykir could check Pyramid and still make it to GT before Floyd at this point. Because Eykir only has Ice Palace and Desert left to do, and he just has to fight the boss in both. And Floyd has, to get to Desert, has to do all of Thieves Town and all of Turtle Rock. So...
I think Floyd is just going to go on dungeon clear mode right now. Yeah, we checked basically everything.
This is some of the inefficiency of not clearing Thieves' Town. You know, when you're looking for Flute, he's coming to do Purple Chest. I think, you know, that's a great time to do Thieves' Town if you have to come use the portal anyway, walk right past Thieves' Town. Yeah, you're missing out on getting knowledge early. But, you know, that voice in the back of your head is probably saying, you know, Flute can be in GT. Unless that's not a possibility they've considered, because, you know, that's not something a lot of runners think of if they're not used to doing all dungeon seeds. Progression, other than a Master Sword, is never in GT. Well, Master Sword, Samaria, Fire, Shot, the stuff that you don't need to get to GT, but you can need in GT. But you won't find that progression in GT very often.
Oh, DS with some nice groupings there. Almost got them all down at once. Now we'll see if DS decides to do Pyramid Fairy now.
I think having saved him quick to Link's house, that is exactly where he's going. Dark Shadows is probably going to combo this Pyramid Fairy check in with his clear of Odd and Eastern. And since he has the mirror, he can combo, or he can take a much nicer little path to the pyramid than going the long way around, since they've defeated Ega. Yeah, this does seem like a very likely a close race, given how much.
There's
and
the
there
flute.
is the flute.
All right.
So that may or may not be go mode.
That could have been something that Eykir could have had, what, 40 minutes ago?
Yeah, and very well. I imagine that Eykir probably wouldn't have gone straight to Pyramid Fairy. Well, maybe would have, actually, since Floyd was still starting to clear out the mountain and hadn't done it all yet. Buy him a little more time. But yeah, so this does seem very tight right now, because when we lost Dr. Bob, Dark Shadows was significantly behind Floyd and Eykir, and a lot of ground has been item-wise. Dark Shadows does have a lot of dungeons left to do.
Well, now Dark Shadows can do Mire Desert, then to go do Pod Eastern. Well, it depends. This is not the moment of truth for if we're in go mode or not.
Yeah, going back to the possibility, if Mire is not Bombos,
oh, DS is like, I'm just going as Bombos. We're in go mode.
Yeah, and interestingly, that almost sounded like a call from Dr. Bob that it might have been Bombos or something, or maybe Dark Shadows just felt frisky, like running straight up to it.
All right. So we now have a race on our hands. We're also going to hope for a Godmire here. I mean, it's a 33% chance. Ooh. This might be a Godmire. Nope.
How late that flute was does seem to indicate that Dr. Bob also had issues with Cold Stare. Or they put off Pyramid Fairy a really long time after finishing Ice, which with Eggadad, I'm not sure I understand.
Well, DS already went through Ice Palace, and I think Bob had to do Ice Palace at the same time as well. I mean,
the
no.
seed did bottleneck you into Ice Palace. Like, both runners had to go there at roughly the same time. So yeah, it's kind of fun speculating as to where Dr. Bob could possibly be.
Yeah, so I mean, Dark Shadows has been full clearing every dungeon we've seen Dark Shadows in. This is the first one he's been running through, like, straight through. So clearly Bob has finished his dungeon. No, but this flute could have been very early. Seventh try, spooky.
Wow, Eykir finding the big key without even opening the door. Hitting the switch again so he doesn't have to bother with the switch in the first room of Darkness, or the second room.
DS doing some cave strats here.
Yeah, and with Butter Sword, that's about as fast as you can go.
DS never went to K45.
A little surprised that he killed the big guy with slashes with 30 arrows.
Eh.
Still takes down Vitreous without too much trouble and gets another pendant.
So DS is going to go ahead and mirror over to Desert to put a quick fight onto Lamos. Of course, you know, Dr. Bob should be recording, so it's also kosher.
Eykir takes out Cold Stare, which means he has a Swamp Palace
and a
desert left after this. And I would be surprised to see Eykir do Swamp before GT. I think you try to get into the... because Eykir does have a significant crystal lead on Floyd at the moment, and he's got an entire turtle. And getting someone into GT and finding that big key, getting as much as you can, doesn't really change much. So after GT, you just mirror and flute, do Swamp Palace, and then save and quit, and you're right on top of the pyramid again. Though they could opt to have Eykir do Swamp so they get into GT a little closer. It's all about what they choose to do.
I still wouldn't be surprised if Floyd is going to be the first one that finishes on Nerds, though. I mean, after this, it's just TRGT Ganon.
And Lando.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I meant, like, after the Meyer play. DS still has to do Pod Eastern, but then it's GT Ganon, so, you know, depending on where Bob is right now.
We have our 4 runners very close right now. Leads are marginal at this point, and this could definitely come down to execution in the home stretch.
This also depends if DS and Bob decide to go for their golds. I mean, it's not that big of a difference, but I mean, like, over time, it does add up. This makes no difference in a Ganon fight if both DS and Dr. Bob can in one cycle, you know, with Tempered.
Yeah, the Ganon fight might not make a difference. It having done Aga's Tower already, Buttersword one-shots every enemy that's in GT. Eykir checking checkerboard for silvers, apparently. No such luck.
Hey, find the silvers. That's, you know, saves you, what, a minute and a half in the Ganon fight?
Checking Meyer Shed, too. This is
just to make sure they have everything.
This is a choice. It's a heart container for his trouble. Not too bad. Saving and quitting.
I think this also guarantees. I think this also guarantees silvers has to be in GT at this point, because we've seen everything else.
Yeah, there are no other checks.
Well, we also didn't see all Meyer. It's 1 to 2.
Yeah. Eykir is gonna do Swamp Palace before GT.
I also feel like if Bob did Meyer early, we would have seen DS go for silvers as well.
Likely, though I think it would be pretty hard for anything other than Flute to be your go mode this seed.
Well, there's that, but I mean,
I guess Hookshot could have been.
Hookshot
or Bow, rather.
Bow wasn't in bad location, yeah. But it sounds like it looked like Dr. Bob was there first, so it could have been something. And you want silvers for V. Silvers is like the best thing to have for V, so.
But I mean, Eykir didn't spend any time looking for silvers in Meyer. And I doubt Dr. Bob did either. Yeah, Dark Shadows might be the first one on restream to GT, as Turtle Rock is pretty long. It is 3-4 minutes to go through in go mode like Floyd will, knowing where everything is. Although Floyd is already on the mountain, his trip from his last dungeon to GT would be much shorter than Dark Shadows. Yeah, and Eykir might actually be there. And it might depend on who gets better Deadrock RNG. They are pretty neck and neck going through. Well, no, yeah, Eykir will be a little behind, but still could depend on Deadrock RNG. Ooh, everybody having a rough day with Diver Down right now.
That's another reason DS was saving arrows too, I guess. Had all the arrows dungeons to do.
That is true.
Oh yeah, I guess we got a big key game, don't we?
Yep, Dark Shadows. Just technically we should have started this when Eykir got his 7th crystal in Desert, because he was the first with 7 crystals. But
the first
it'll
one
likely be Dark Shadows who is first into GT. So make of that what you will. We will be going off of presumably Dark Shadows count, unless something horrific happens on his trip up the mountain. But yeah, do you have a guess that you like to do?
I usually go with 5.
Yeah, I pick pretty much at random when I do it. So we'll go with 14 for no reason.
Oh, you got Snipe. Oh no, Kimmy did it earlier. So yeah, no. Usually it's whoever has the intention on going to GT first. We usually call the game on. Just makes it easier that way.
Oh yeah, I totally yeah. I was just 7 crystals, and it's like, well, we reached 7 crystals a few minutes ago, actually, but. And yeah, in Danny Music.
Oh, that's true. This game could be rigged from the start. Whoever gets 1 might be.
Imagine. Oh man.
1 or 2. It might be 1 or 2. Oh, nice bonk. No one saw that. Everybody saw that.
But I think if Dark Shadows does go straight to the big key, that's...
Now we're going right side first. Chest 1 is the small key.
I think Dark Shadows is first to GT. Yeah, I think that's pretty clear. So yeah, I think that what that means is we've got a race on our hands, folks. Dr. Bob can't be too far behind, presumably, if knows where everything is, can go get it. So yeah, this is going to be a fun one to watch down the stretch. And there are our silver arrows.
5 is silver arrows. That's I was correct on that. 5 was silvers. There's our Quake. So all of our runners are going to have silvers. So this is going to come down to Ganon execution.
Well, I think it's going to come down probably more to GT climb execution. I think the GT climb is longer than the Ganon fight, and there are a lot more opportunities for things to go differently. The biggest thing on Ganon would be, a fall, but that's a freak accident most of the time, and the difference between a 1 and 1, a 2 and 1, most likely, which is, for all we talk about it, it's a few seconds. But the GT climb, the gauntlet, everything is, that's a big execution hurdle. So, yeah. Floyd, getting to phase 2 of Trinex, will be right behind Eykir. Very possibly with knowledge of where the GT big has to be at the time he actually gets into GT. And we find why Eykir was trying Cold Stare with 5 hearts the first time. All of the heart containers are in Ganon's tower. Red mail, 300 rupees, and the big key.
So what was that again?
That was 17, apparently, yeah. Interestingly, Eykir telling Floyd just to follow him left side. I guess grabbing the silvers, it's probably on Ice Armos. Silvers in DM room is probably, very nearly worth it. Even for the best of runners, just for the Ganon fight. So, makes sense to me, I guess. Floyd doesn't have to open anything else on the way. He can get, 3 heart containers, however many it was. But Floyd's heading straight for the big key, and will be hot on Eykir's heels.
But yeah, no, we're now having a very close race between these runners, so give them a big follow. I mean, they're putting a great show for you guys today. Be interesting to see how this race goes between all of these guys. We may have to hold off on interviews until everyone finishes.
Yeah, I think that is a given at this point. Given how close our 3 runners that we can see are to each other, I think the time for interviews will be when the race is finished.
Because you have to assume Dr. Bob is probably also in GT.
Yeah, or, he has certainly made it to GT by this point, barring unforeseen circumstances. That would be a very large gap. Floyd about to get his big key as Eykir just misses all 3 Platinums.
That's such a hard
Silvers.
thing to do. I mean, you gotta fight lag because of the Medusa head down there. All the sprites from the Lambos coming out of the holes. It's never a fun fight.
Quick 3 cycle though. It's not what he wanted, but I'm sure he's not too. Doesn't feel like he lost too much time over it.
That was a fast Moldorm 2.
All our runners very well equipped for the gauntlet, making quick work. Dark Shadows is apparently the first into Ega 2. I think definitively the first into Ega 2.
Yeah, I mean,
the
DS
first into GT.
Yeah, DS had to check all those checks. Eykir misses the first hook shot, gets it the second try. It looks like we also found red mail at some point in time, too.
Red mail was the vanilla big key chest in GT.
Ah. So that's
a recent acquisition.
So, DS's first one to Ganon. We'll see who... I mean, again, DS has to do twice the slashes Eykir has to do, so... It looks like Ganon's giving Dark Shadows a nice spin spot right there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's a 1-1. But gets another good spin spot.
Yeah, with you get the 1-1, Ganon doesn't get to the top of the screen before phase 3. A 2-1 is so little time lost. Not worth mentioning. Dark Shadows just about done with phase 3 as Eykir drops into the Ganon fight. Floyd is in Torches 2 in GT. Gonna grab the mini hell key here. And shortly on Moldorm 2. And Eykir, I think, cashing in his free 1-1 with Butter. As Dark Shadows takes down Ganon.
So Dark Shadows will be the first of our finishers of the 4. We'll finish with the official race time GG time once they cross the bridge of 1 hour, 47 minutes, and 51 seconds as Eykir is getting into phase 4. So again, Eykir is just going to have to do 4 silver arrows, and we will see what time Eykir finishes with. Nice triple! You gotta love that triple right there.
Yeah,
and
triple.
1 cycle!
Yeah, one torch lighting, so even missing that first shot, Eykir gets it, only lighting the torches once, which is easier said than done. So GG's for Eykir. Finishing with a racetime.gg time of 1:48:37.
Alright. So now we're just going to watch Floyd do their Ganon. Yeah, you don't want to hug. You do not want to hug Ganon, even with red mail.
No. Floyd should be okay here.
Ooh, 2 hugs. Ouch. Nope. Ooh.
Oh gosh.
The fire bat's still flying around. Nice!
Taking out that Canaburna. Danger should be over as long as he doesn't let Ganon spawn a fire bat. Here, which he doesn't.
Floyd's making a sweat for this one. Oh! Go! I thought Floyd fell there for a second. Not going to lie. That was scary. But Floyd is now going to be finishing.
And tricky race time. Dr. Bob finished with a race time.gg time of 1:50.25 to Floyd's 1:50.44. So,
that'll give Beard Force an average of 149.08 and 16-bit an average of 149.40. The averages are 32 seconds apart.
Yeah, this was an incredibly close race. And it very well could have gone either way with a couple different decisions, either side. Very well played, very close. But I believe we will be getting everyone in here for an interview.
And they're waiting for Floyd. So we are getting them coming here one at a time. GG's Bob, Eykir, and DS. Good games.
Thank you. Good game, indeed.
32 seconds separating you guys. I mean, that was close.
The overall was less than 3 minutes.
Yeah. From Dark Shadows to Floyd. Yeah, this was an incredibly close race. It's a pity that on restream we couldn't see how very close it was. But yeah, any thoughts about this heat? It seemed very, very linear. How was it trying to divide and conquer with those circumstances?
Our side, we saw there are a few places where it's like, okay, there are 2 or 3 places where our progression can be. You go take one, I'll take one, and we just did that until we got to the end, pretty much. Yeah, like there was a lot of last location just because when we were splitting up, it would all come down to just one location.
There we go. I can now hear. Sorry about that.
Hey, Bob.
Welcome, GG's.
Oh boy. So sorry about that. OBS apparently stopped working and didn't tell me that it wasn't working.
Yeah,
I usually have OBS up at all times just in case, because mine will crash randomly.
Well, I could see it, and it appeared to be working, was the thing. It just wasn't. Like, I had the green light on the corner and everything. It just... if I'd have looked closer at it, I would see that I was getting 0 upload. I didn't notice that. Oh, well.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, really good race. I really don't know what to even ask because just how crazy it was. So Bob, we did not see any of your stream, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can tell you the things I found on our end, on my end, if you want. So I was the one who found the flute because you saw Dark Shadows take that Death and Ice Palace, but I was right behind him because I had nothing else to do, and so I actually managed to finish Ice and went to Pyramid Area after that.
That makes 1 out of 4 runners that managed to finish Ice on their first trip in. Floyd was he was the one that was in better shape for the Cold Stare fight in terms of health, but he was out of magic and had not picked up Bombos and Pod, so he had no other option but to mirror out and go chase the next progression, which it did open up the route a little bit for 16-bit nerds, with the split that happened there. But Eykir also died, so they didn't go back to ice for quite a while.
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, Floyd just said, I'm going to take the mirror and go. You go ahead and finish. So I tried to finish, and I misjudged that last swing. They didn't move toward me in time and hit me. So, yeah, I did Pod Eastern instead of going back to ice. I should have gone back to ice when I was in better shape. So, yeah, we delayed that a bit. But at that point, we just need a flute to finish. And we figured it was going to be there or in GT, so we were rushing all the crystal dungeons, too.
Right.
Like, GT was in the back of our minds for a bit until Bob found that flute.
Yeah, I found the flute slightly before Dark Shadows found the bow.
Okay, so that timeline does because Dark Shadows was checking everything on the mountain, and given that we had absolutely no idea where you were,
we knew you were the first one to do Mire when DS Go did Mire, but it was like every other dungeon Dark Shadows went to, it was like a full clear. So I'm assuming you also did all the overrule checks.
I did a lot of them, yeah.
Which is why Dark Shadows didn't go to K45 for gold.
Yeah. Nope, we just never went to K45.
Oh!
I assumed he went to K45 while he was down there.
Uh-oh.
No, you didn't have the mirror at the time.
Right.
Yeah, and so we didn't, like, by the time both of us had the mirror, like, very shortly after that, we both had flute and bow, and it was just like, okay, we're done here.
Wow. But yeah, no, good race. I mean, cut any closer, we would have had our good old-fashioned league curse of tie games all over the place.
We could have had one. We really could have had one. I got hit by that bug. I used my cape and Thieves Sound. I got stuck in the doorway.
Well, then you had one person had an issue with the door in Ice Palace not opening when.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. That's actually the second time I've had that happen.
Yeah, so Eykir and Chuck like, oh, that's why I lost. Is that 2 minutes there? And then like Dark Shadows had something similar happen to them.
Oh no. Okay, I can't blame it on that then.
Yeah, we had very similar things happen. It's just, it worked pretty well. I'm again so sorry about the issue, and I'm gonna
No, it's all good.
go through and figure out what the heck is going on and try to make sure it doesn't happen again.
We still saw a good race. I mean, heck, less than 3 minutes between the first of you guys and the last of you guys. I mean,
the three that were on Restream were definitely close enough to make it interesting to begin with. So
we're joined by Floyd now, by the way. So Floyd, why did you have to give us all anxiety during that Ganon fight? We do not need that anxiety. I mean, as commentators, I knew you weren't going to die because we saw you finish 10 minutes ago. But still, I was like, wait.
Making it interesting for the viewers, as always.
Yeah, gotta be entertaining, if nothing else. I'm gonna lose,
It was such a close race. I knew that Eykir was good, and I'd seen Floyd race in the mentor tournament there. Just like, one time Floyd asked me to do the mentor thing for him, so I sat down and I just kind of watched him play because he didn't need me.
Yeah, no. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Like, the next round between you guys.
No, the slippers were in a terrible spot. Purple chip.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Like if you somehow made the skip into Ice Palace and got the mirror before you did Smith Chain, that would have been like a major time save. But you know,
I was also jokingly telling Floyd that watch, it's gonna be boots on pyramid leading to that bottle on library, and Sika's gonna have the pearl. I was right about the boots, but nothing.
oh, that's what I was thinking. As soon as I saw the boots, I'm like,
Wait, I made one last-ditch effort to try to splash delete with the ice rod. I've done it before, but I couldn't get it to work that time.
Since you didn't have the pearl, I don't think you could have gotten the items, and you wouldn't have activated a water walk coming out. So,
Yeah,
You know you're right. So that's.
I've done that before. Gone in knowing you can get these items with a splash. So,
Oh my god, what's that voice? That voice just came out of nowhere. What?
sorry, our streamer
hello.
joining us in the booth.
Yeah, and thanks for taking the time to show this one off. I know there's not a lot of time to handle all of the open league races because there's a million of them. But yeah, thanks for picking this one out.
When's the next time you guys are matching up?
Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern.
We have that on the restream. You better go catch it.
Yeah, and who will be on that? Who will be facing off?
That one's gonna be Dark Shadows and Unknown availability for us, and then the other
Eykir and Flipeel.
Okay.
Well, thank you. And we do appreciate all the restreamers, all the trackers, all the commentators. You guys do a great job.
Maybe I'll see about jumping in on comms on that one. Who knows?
That guy had his availability when his availability is unknown.
We have to drag it out of him, but
Okay. Well, I'm going to end things off on that for myself.
Yeah, yeah, I will. I don't have any further thoughts either. I've got my own league match to get ready for here in about half an hour. So.
Oh yeah, that's right on the schedule there.
Yeah, I think it is also being streamed.
Yeah, it's on this channel in just under an hour.
Yeah. Well, thank you in advance. Hope we give you a good show as well. That'll be. I guess I can tell you who it is. It's Danny Music and Brackhar of Ambiguously Canon Content versus myself and Fred, aka Durf of We Need a Mentor.
Hey, looks like you get to mentor each other.
Yeah, that's
Need a
what we're hoping to do.
mentor. Like need a hero, but no. Okay.
Yeah, we got.
I'm holding up for a mentor till the end of the night. Okay, I'm done.
We need a mentor.
Right.
Gotta get
But
the bomb
with that,
jumps.
I think that will be all from us here at the Link to the Past Randomizer League. Until next time, happy last location.
May the Triforce be with you guys and have a great night.